It really is about people coming together and doing what I believe is the right thing. And given certain people that I have spoken to, it makes me feel like this is going to be a really good day in Metland. That's how I feel today.
Okay, well, I know
Tonight I hope by the time the day's over, cooler heads prevail and things get done. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, and I know you were around a lot of high-profile sports marketing people, sports agents last night. So there's definitely some intertwined things going on, some very high-level people.
Well, no, I was good. This is all before last night. I will say that.
Oh, okay. All right.
But I didn't really have a chance to post anything on X just simply because I was busy. And I was going to save this until 7 o'clock. But, yeah, I was at the Ivy Football Foundation dinner last night. And my dear friend Frank Buno was honored on behalf of Princeton and his time there and everything that he has done for Princeton football.
Indeed.
And, it was great. I got a chance to see a couple old teammates of mine, Reggie Williams, Dartmouth, Nick Lowry, Harvard. I saw Ryan Fitzpatrick last night, who owes me a percentage of his 2016 contract, I told him, and he's never said thank you. Jay Fiedler, of course, he was a Dartmouth quarterback. Ross Tucker from Penn. He went to Princeton as well. John Spagnuolo, who I haven't seen, former tight end of the Eagles.
Spags?
He's another Spags. I hadn't seen him for a while. Yale. And then, of course, there's my friend Don Jackson who went to Columbia. I think he considers himself like the Doug Flutie of Columbia. I hope you're laughing at that, Don, right now as I say that. And then there was Jimmy Pitaro from ESPN. He was honored last night from Cornell. Buddy Tevens, the former head coach at Dartmouth, who passed away, unfortunately, in a bike accident, met his wife last night. She was wonderful, and they did a great job remembering Buddy and all the things that he had done at Dartmouth. Kevin Stefanski, head coach of the Browns, was there last night. He was being honored. He's a UPenn guy, graduated back in 2004. And then, of course, Dick Duran, also coach, was there. He was there, I think, in Yale in 1973 is when he graduated. So I was around a lot of those football Ivy-type people and saw a lot of people there last night. It was a great night, and I was basically the second dumbest guy in the room.
Who was the dumbest?
Phil Simms.
Oh, okay, so Phil went as well. Okay,
yes,
very good.
Yes.
Oh,
well, we were there for our buddy Frank Buno, and of course Steve Rosner put the whole thing together for us.
Great.
And it was a great night. Got a chance to see a lot of people I hadn't seen in a long time. Like I hadn't seen Nick Lowry in a long time. He was he was the kicker for the Jets when I was here.
Yeah. So all right. So this information that you got was prior to this Ivy League football thing. So
I was at an Ivy football.
You had a very, very busy day yesterday. Now, what was interesting to me, and I believe you, and I know you're paranoid. You're going to say, "Oh, you don't believe me." I believe that you got some solid information. Yesterday.
I got solid information.
I believe that you did, but it was interesting to me because I really thought that after I heard Steve Cohen and then some of the reports that Boris was putting through Heyman and all this stuff, I was like, this thing is going to drag on. This is going to drag on to spring training, and then it's going to be who's going to blink first, and then all of a sudden Pete's going to show up like the third week of spring training is going to be all out of shape, and then he's got to figure out how to get back in shape. This is the way I thought it was going to play out. So when I saw this, I was encouraged. I was happy.
You should be encoured.
Because I was like, man, this is the exact opposite of the way that I thought it was going to go.
I'm encouraged. I'm very encouraged.
What's the thing that made this reality, Is somebody finally caving?
It's not about caving.
Oh, damn
okay?
right it is.
It's about
caving.
See, this is what happens here in New York. People like you muddy the waters, and you muck it up.
I'm not mucking anything up.
You're so happy to muck things up, and when you start mucking things up, then things could go south because somebody's feelings may get hurt because of a third party, the way that they think.
Oh, come on.
And they feel about
no,
something. So don't you start mucking things up.
How am I mucking anything
You're
up?
mucking it up. You just saw your attitude right there. It's a muck-up attitude.
No,
Who's
it's
caving?
not.
Who's caving?
Somebody's got to cave.
No, nobody's got to cave. Here's the thing.
It's a blinking contest, staring contest.
What everybody just has to do, and I think this is what is happening, is everybody's just got to calm down. Pete's not playing in Toronto. He's not playing in Cincinnati. He's not going to the Giants. He's not going to Chicago. He needs to be the first baseman of the Mets. He knows that. The Mets know that. And Boris just clam up. You gave him bad information or you gave him bad advice. This is one of many that you've given bad advice to. And I would tell Pete, do what's in your heart and follow what your heart says you should do.
All right, so
that's how I would characterize a lot of this.
All right, so Boris and Alonso are caving. All right. So I got the
See
answer.
again, mucking
well,
it up.
I don't consider
it a game. What I see is I really do. I honestly feel this way, and this may be wrong. And I'm not against players. I want players to make as much money as they possibly can. And thank God that Juan Soto got $750 million. I wouldn't have spent that money on him, but they did, and I appreciate that. But there are certain players that are synonymous with their team. And I think that, Pete Alonso has been a synonymous man. And this conversation that we had about Saquon Barkley yesterday and the success and everything else made me dig a little deeper.
Oh, you dug?
Yeah.
To what?
I dug to phone calls, discussions, and an understanding of what I think is happening.
Okay.
All right, so don't muck it up.
I'm not mucking it up.
Don't be one of these media hacks.
What I'm not. What are you talking about?
Up and who's caving? Who's doing this?
Somebody's caving.
Why can't we all just come together and we meet halfway and we say this is great?
Okay.
Why can't we look at it that way?
Well, you could, but I would just. I will deal in reality. Someone's going to cave here. You got two people. You got Steve Cohen and Scott Boras. And each wants something very different.
Steve Cohen took care of Scott Boras with Juan Soto.
It's exactly what I said.
And that's part of Steve's frustration, and I understand that. And I certainly see where he's coming from, and I understand where David Stearns is coming from. But I'm telling you, 80% of us fans, Met fans, 80% of us, and I think that's probably a low number. It's probably higher than that. Want Pete back in this lineup at first base. We want Vientos at third base. We want him at first base. That's what we want, and we want Soto out in right field or DHing for whatever the hell amount of money we're giving him. That's what we want as a fan base.
So you got to give the fans whatever they want?
Well, I think within reality, now $7.5 or $750 million is not reality in my book, but
this is not a listen to the fans, sit with the fan spot?
No, it's not. As a matter of fact, it's a business spot. Do yourself a favor and make even more money by signing one of the most popular players in recent Met history.
What if it puts you over that?
I don't give a crap. You do.
They do.
You just paid a guy $7.5 billion. You got the Dodgers reworking contracts and spending money.
You might not give a crap. They do.
I'm just telling you.
It's a prohibitive thing.
Yeah,
CBT.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah, right.
Because if they go over it, they get taxed at 110% for every dollar.
Believe me, I know. Do I care? It's his money. He's spending it.
He cares. I'm not saying you care. It's part of the conversation. What you think about it doesn't matter. Right. What he thinks about it has something to do with whether he's going to sign guys or not.
We're talking about baseball, right? It's baseball. Pitchers and catchers right around the corner, and we're starting this show with baseball, and that's great. I love talking about baseball, especially situations like this. But this is more than baseball for the Mets, is it not?
Well, yeah, because they could put them over the competitive balance tax, and that could be a big problem for them.
Yeah. You see the project he wants to build over there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so what? Who cares?
He does, because he said he does. So yeah. I've answered that question several times.
He's going to have a $10 billion, development project over there that's going to include a casino.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Okay.
This is pittance compared to what this signing could do. And what it will do for the Met fan base and the sponsorships and everything that goes along with the business of baseball.
Yeah, I think that the Juan Soto deal certainly did that for them. I don't know if Pete Alonso coming back on a 3-year deal is going to push through them getting a downstate casino license.
3-year deal, give me one year opt out. I don't care.
Just and that's going to be the thing that helps them build that casino.
You know what? I want to see him winning is going to help him build that casino. Just like the Washington Commanders are going to get a new stadium at RFK.
Well, they also change their ownership. Yeah.
But they're winning, and they got a quarterback. Just like Buffalo, they're winning. They got a quarterback. They get a new stadium. Hello? It all goes hand in hand. You got to get the political will behind what you're trying to do, and there's one way you do that in sports, and that is win. Win, win, win. Or you exhaust every opportunity, and you threaten to leave. And like the Islanders, I don't think they ever really truly threatened to leave. It was out there, but ultimately it got to a point where they had to do something.
Well, the Devils, too, during that time back in the day.
Exactly. So, but the Devils were also winning. They won cups.
And they were still talking about them going to Kansas City or whatever it was back in the day.
Exactly.
Even when they were successful.
So, Steve Cohen and the other part of the business really wants to do something special. Win a World Series. You'll have all the political will you want. They'll be kissing your ass. They couldn't wait to give you the downstate license. They couldn't wait to help you build all these different things and give you the tax incentives to do it.
Friday news dump, Pete Alonso?
I wouldn't say it's a news dump. I think it's like it's not a dump.
Well, if it happens on Friday afternoon, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, again, see, there you go, mucking it up again. So negative. Dump, who's caving? Why do you use words like that?
Because that's the way I feel and think.
You're painting such a negative picture. Like if you told me, and I'll tell you when Pete signs his contract with the Mets,
at 10:05 today,
I'm not going to be saying to myself, oh, this is a news dump. And by the way, they caved. No. I'm going to be like, I don't care. I want a full team, and I want him on this team.
I will be disappointed
and I'm telling you, this would be like Saquon Barkley leaving the Giants, and that's what really made me want to dig deeper into this whole thing.
Dig deeper. Yeah, I would be disappointed if it happened Friday afternoon, because then we have the entire weekend that everybody digests it before we get back on the air. So selfishly, I want it to happen on Monday.
I'm hoping it does happen on a Friday, because then I can get to enjoy it a little bit.
Well, what do you mean?
It's hard to enjoy things during the week because we got to get up early.
You telling me you're going to celebrate the Pete Alonso signing by, going out and drinking?
I didn't say going out and drinking. I may have a cocktail and say, hey, congratulations to me because I got it right.
I mean, come on. The day of the week does not stop you. If the Rangers are playing the Oilers on a Tuesday, I mean, you're loading up your Fresca and your Casamigos.
No, not during the week. On the weekend, yes, but not during the week, man. I come in here every morning, loaded for bear, ready to rock and roll.
I never said you didn't.
Got to deal with you maniacs.
I never said you didn't. Well, I hope it's today. I hope it's before the show.
I hope it is too.
And we'll see who ends up caving.